glorify Bhagwan Krishna. As I said, satsang is something we participate in. It's not only about one person narrating alone. It's for all of us to join, and I ask you all to join because I like active participation. Let us all join in Harinam and one simple name of Bhagwan for all of us to chant. Sham, Sham, Sham. Sham, 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 Radhe, Sham, Sham, Sham. Sham, 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 Radhe, Sham, Sham, Sham. Sham, 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 Radhe, Sham, Sham, Sham. Bolo. Sham, 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 Radhe, Sham, Sham. Jai Madhav Madan Murari, Radhe, Sham, Sham, Sham. Jai Keshav Kali Malhari, Radhe, Sham, Sham, Sham. Sham, 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 Radhe, Sham, Sham, Sham. Sham, 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 Radhe, Sham, Sham, Sham. Sundar Kundal Naina Vishala, Sundar Kundal Naina Vishala, Galle Sohe Bajanti Mala. Sundar Kundal Naina Vishala, Galle Sohe Bajanti Mala. Ya Jhabki Balihari Radhe Sham, Sham, Sham. Ya Jhabki Balihari Radhe Sham, Sham, Sham. Bolo. Sham, 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 Radhe Sham, Sham, Sham. Sham, 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 Radhe Sham, Sham, Sham. Ikadanaman Indra ko mayo, Nakho par Govardhan Dharyo. And remember, on the first night we did Govardhan Katha. That is when Sri Krishna quelled the pride of Indra, the Lord of heavens, when he thought he was the Lord of the entire creation, not understanding he also is temporal, just for time, transient. Ikadanaman Indra ko maryo, nakho par Govardhan dharyo. Girvar leke bharo, girna pare kanha, girvar leke bharo. Ikadanaman Indra ko maryo, nakho par Govardhan dharyo. And that is how he's named. Naam paryo girdhari, Naam paryo girdhari, Radhe Sham, 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 Radhe Sham, Sham, Sham. Bolo. Sham, 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 Radhe Sham, Sham, Sham. दुर्योधन को भोगन खायो, रूप साज विदुर घर आयो. Remember, Bhagwan gave up the invitation to dine in the palace of Duryodhan, and he instead went and ate roti and bhaji that was offered with love and humility at the home of Vidur. And that is what Bhagwan wants, our love and our humility, not our physical things alone. Duryodhan ko bhogan khayo, roop sagar Vidur ghar aayo. And his name, when he accepts our love, ऐसे प्रेम पुजारी प्रेम पुजारी कैसे प्रेम पुजारी राधे श्याम 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 राधे श्याम श्याम बोलो श्याम 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 राधे श्याम 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 राधे श्याम 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 भक्त भक्त सब तुमने तारे बिना भक्ति हम थारे द्वारे भक्त भक्त सब तुमने तारे everyone calls themselves bhaktas everyone calls themselves Hindus or whatever the faith may be but बिना भक्ति हम थारे द्वारे you cannot go to the doorway of Bhagwan. You may be able to enter any other doorway with status, with power and all those things. But the qualification to enter Bhagwan's door is bhakti. That is the ticket. Bina bhakti, without bhakti, you have no chance at the doorway, the entrance of God. So let us ensure that we have that ticket at all times. Love, sincerity, and thankfulness, gratefulness, and extended. Don't have it here, extended here in service at all times. भक्त भक्त सब तुमने तारे बिना भक्ति हम थारे द्वारे हम थारे द्वारे हम थारे द्वारे भक्त भक्त सब तुमने तारे बिना भक्ति हम थारे द्वारे लीजो खबर हमारी राधे श्याम 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 राधे श्याम 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 राधे श्याम 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 राधे श्याम वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय. So tonight we look at a few lines from Devi Bhagavatam. Today we did Durga Ma Puja this evening. And we are honoring motherhood. So it is appropriate that we look at a few lines from Bhagavad, Devi Bhagavad. And tonight is a conversation, a dialogue between Narad Ji and Narayan. And that is a conversation just as Narad has for Narayan, constantly and always thinking of Bhagwan. Narayan, Narayan, that is what the Narad Muni repeats constantly, right? We also ought to develop that relationship and have that dialogue with Bhagwan in our lives at all times. And Narad Ji is asking Bhagwan at this time a very simple and a beautiful and useful question, that the answer of which will be beneficial to the entire humanity. Because when we have the opportunity to meet with learned ones, with wise ones, with qualified ones, our questions should always bring value. We do not ask questions for any other purpose rather than the purpose of enlightenment. So we listen to that question. What Narad asks Bhagwan at this time? Om Namo Narayanaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Om Shri Mahadurga Divyai Namaha. Kavasa Surbhir Devi Goloka Dagata Chaya Tajanma Charitam Brahma Chetum Chami Yatnata. Mahadurga Mata Ki Jai. Narad says, "Oh Bhagwan, who was that Surabhi?" We have probably heard that name before. Surabhi. Who was that Surabhi who came from the region of Golok? Golok kya hai? The abode of Lord Krishna. That divine abode. Surabhi who came from the region of Golok. I want to hear about her life. Oh Prabhu, kindly describe that katha of Surabhi to me. And we listen how Bhagwan answers who Surabhi was. Narayana Uvach, Bhagwan speaks. Gvam disthatra devi Gavam madhya gavam prasu Gavan pradhanan surabhir Goloke sa samadbhava Sarvadi srashte charitam Kathyami nishamaya Babhuvaten tajanma Pura vrindavani bani Ekda radhika natho Radhaya saha kautuki Gopang gana parivratah Punyam vrindavan yayav Sahasa tatra rahasi Vijahar sa kautukat Babhuva kshira pani Chathasya svechamayasya cha Sasraje surabhi devi Lilya vam parshvatah Vatsayuktan dugdhavanti Vatso namanurataha Mahadurga Mata Ki Jai. So who is Surabhi? That is the question put forward by Narad Ji at this time for Bhagwan to answer. So we listen attentively. Bhagwan says, O Dev Rishi Narad, the Devi Surabhi sprang from Golok. That is the origin of Surabhi. I will now speak of her history from the very beginning. Listen. Listen also to what happened before she even appeared in the holy Vrindavan. Ekada radhika natho radhaya saha kautuki. One day the Lord of Radha, who's the Lord of Radha? Sri Krishna Bhagwan. Remember, Narayan, Vishnu Bhagwan is narrating to Narad Ji. They are having a conversation. So Bhagwan Krishna, surrounded by the gopis, chief amongst them Radha, they were there and they were enjoying in the Ras Leela, that beautiful divine dance of the cosmos, that dance of unity, that dance that sustains everything. And Bhagwan Krishna was there enjoying with great pleasure together with the gopis, because Bhagwan at all times extremely loves his bhaktas. If you remember, in the previous lives of the gopis, who were the gopis really? Ladies, telling the people, say Lord Krishna was the god of love and a saga boy and all of these things. The gopis in their previous life were the Vanaras. And as a reward of their bhakti, because as Vanars they were in constant service and they had to do so much hard work in service of Bhagwan, their reward being that they were able in their next life to come together with Bhagwan, not to work so hard, but to enjoy the company of Bhagwan when he takes avatar. So that is the real relationship. That is the relationship. The relationship, the Ras Leela, the dance between the Bhakta and Bhagwan. That is the dance we all ought to dance with Bhagwan at all times, because we all are true nature Bhaktas. Sahasa tatra rahasi vijahar sah kautukar. And Bhagwan Krishna, as you know, Narad, he is all will, all the willpower in the world. That is the willpower that we need also, that drives us and helps us make the crunch decisions. That power, that willpower, that Shakti, Kriya Shakti. He who is all will, suddenly a desire rose up in Bhagwan's mind. And what was that desire? He desired to drink some milk. Then he created easily the Devi Surabhi, full of milk, together with a calf as well, from his own left side. The calf of Surabhi is nothing itself but Surabhi personified as well. Seeing Surabhi, Sridama, as you know, Sridama was one of the close friends of Lord Krishna. Sridama milked her in a new earthen jar. He collected that milk. This milk is more sweet than even Amrit itself, and it prevents birth and death. In other words, if those who are able to consume that milk of Surabhi, they gain moksha, they gain that emancipation, that liberation, where the soul merges with Atman, merges with Atman, and there is no more return in samsara. The Lord of the Gopis, Bhagwan Krishna, drank the milk. And you know, when you're pouring out from a jar or container and Bhagwan is drinking, there's some milk spills from Golu. And that milk that spills, it forms an ocean. And the name of that ocean is Kshir Sagar. And this is the ocean. It can be compared also to the Milky Way, the Milky Ocean, the same thing. It really means existence in this realm. So this is how the Kshir Sagar was formed, through the drops. Just as the washings of the feet of Vamanji was the creation of Gangama. And all the milk, of course, it was like in a big invisible tank. So this tank filled with milk. And this is the Kshir Sagar. This is the cosmos that we dwell in. So it came from the milk of Surabhi. The gopis and Radha began to play therein, that new ocean, that new sphere that was created, the Kshir Sagar. At the will of Sri Krishna, whose nature is all will. The tank Shir Sagar became filled with all the different monies, all the different gems, all the different useful things of the universe. He created it at will. Then from every pore of Surabhi, there appeared from every pore thousands, koti, hundreds of thousands of Kamdhenus. As we know, Kamdhenu is the wish-yielding cow. One of the Kamdhenus was owned by sage Vashisht, and Vishwamitra had a big feud trying to kidnap Kamdhenu from him, because anything you wish for, when you go by the cow Mrinalini, you get it with the right devotion behind it. Because the cow, all cows are Devis. They are all descendants of Surabhi. So Kamdhenus came out by the thousands. So much so that every gop who used to live in Golok had a Kamdhenu in each house. Their calves again became so many because, you know, a cow produces very rapidly when they start. So even the calves also grew phenomenally. Thus, by degrees, the whole universe was filled with cows. And this is the origin of the creation of the cow, creation of Gaumata. And we remember a beautiful Doha, and we listen to it. The importance of the cow. Vipradhenu sur santahit leela manuj avatar nij ichha nirmit tanu maya gun Remember, yada yadahi dharmasya. Again and again, Bhagwan takes avatar for the sole purpose of dharma. And dharma comes in main forms. As Tulsidas reminds us, Vipra, for the sustaining of dharma, the Vipras are necessary. Because the Vipras are the Brahmins who are to learn the Vedas and teach the Vedas for society. Yag Karna or Karana, to do, officiate in Yagya and also do Yag for themselves. And Dan, Lena or Dena, accept gifts and give gifts unto society as well. For the purpose of the Vipras, and secondly in line, Dhenu, for the cows. Very important in society, the cow. And better off alive than dead. Much more uses alive than dead for us. Very sacred for us, because even if the mother, your biological mom, dies, Mankind depends on that milk of the cow for sustenance at all times. That is the honor we give to the cow. Vipra, and then for the purpose of the cow, Brahmins, then for the cows, Dhenu, Sura. Then for the Devatas, third in line. Because the Brahmins and the cow are necessary for the Devas to be sustained. Because the Brahmins officiate and make the Havan, but the items used for Havan to sustain the Devatas comes from the cow. Because Havan is incomplete without ghee and all the other products of the cow. Sant. And when this dharma, Vedic dharma, is practiced, we will have saints, because people will be encouraged to live and look at the right examples from our scriptures, the teachings, the examples, how to approach our lives. And then for all of us will become sant. Leena Manuja Avatar, that is for the purpose. That is the purpose Bhagwan comes. So, Surabhi was first worshipped by Bhagwan Sri Krishna. Therefore, she is much honored everywhere in this world. We listen what Bhagwan, how he continues describing Surabhi. Deepan Vita Pardine Shri Krishnasya Jaya Hare Vabhuva Surabhi Puja Dharma Kradidam Srutam Dhyanam Stotra Mula Mantram Yadatya Puja Vidhi Kramam Vedoktam Cha Mahabhagam Nibodha Kathayami Te Mahadurga Mata Ki Jai. On the next day of Diwali, you know, the day after Diwali, Mahalakshmi Pujan. So it'll be on the 4th day of Diwali, the 5 days of festival. On the next day after Mahalakshmi Pujan, after the new moon in the month of October around there, Surabhi was worshipped by the command of Sri Krishna. You hear that word? By the command of Sri Krishna. Govardhan Puja, it is customary and it is also command, it is an order that we should do puja for Surabhi. We should do the puja of the cows on that day. It is a command. And as we're dwelling on that a second, you know there's a practice called Gaudan as well, where the gift of a cow is given. But there are also rules to give those gifts. And if those rules aren't met, both the giver and the receiver do not get blessings, they get the opposite of it. I have warned many people about the correct things, and many people continue to go against it and just for show say they do go down many times. It must be done with the correct advice and guidance to the correct person as well, and a correct way to do it. So it is compulsory that we as Hindus who are bhaktas of Bhagwan Just knowing the scripture is one thing, but more than knowing is putting it into action, into our karmas. Gyan alone, without the karma behind it, is like plenty gas in the tank, but you're only driving from here to up the road and not making use of the real tank, of the fuel that you have. And that is the problem with society as well, that many of us concentrate how much or how little we know, and even less how much we put into practice when it comes to dharma and shastra and Ved. And we adopt different things, and we want to also call it Sanatan Dharma. So on Govardhan Day, it is compulsory as a command of Bhagwan Krishna to do Gau Puja, Surabhi Puja. O Narad, now listen to the dhyan, the stotra, the method of worship of Surabhi, as mentioned in the Vedas. I will now reveal this unto you. And it is a beautiful 6-syllabled mantra, a simple short line that we should all know and repeat and recite as often as we can. You all want to learn the mantra? Well, this is Mama's gift to everyone, and Devi Ma's gift. But a gift is something that you don't take and just pack it away. The gift of the scriptures have to be used in our lives. Very, very simple. Recite after me. Om Surabhyai Namaha. Hard. Om Surabhyai Namaha. Om Surabhyai Namaha. When you are chanting that and develop a love and a power, and you are able to recall Surabhi with the description as we know it now, whatever our desires, whatever our innermost wishes, through our love and devotion to Dharma and Bhagwan, Surabhi will afford us the opportunity to reach those goals. With that mantra, with the love and faith behind it. Om Surabhyai Namaha. If anybody repeats this mantra, he says for 1 lakh times. How much is a lakh? 100,000. For 100,000 times, which is not long, half of a second to say it, right? In the right way for 100,000 times. He says you will gain proper siddhi of this mantra. Proper siddhi means what? When you say a mantra is just not a collection of words, it carries a certain power behind it. Mantra Shakti. And many a times, yes, the love and the faith is fine when you recall a mantra, but you also have to do discipline behind many mantras. You have to practice your mantras. You have to perfect your mantras as well. Not saying it any whole how. Many people say no matter how you live your life, when you die, you call Bhagwan name 1 time and that is enough. That is enough? Probably. But Bhagwan and the scriptures also say that a man upon the time of death recalls that which they were most fond of. So if you weren't fond, if you didn't have a relationship active, an open line of communication, open with Bhagwan at all times while you're living, at that moment of death, you won't remember Bhagwan. So don't wait to die to call his name, in other words. Practice it from now. That is why 100,000 times. Everything, you don't become perfect at it just so. Everyone could become or reach stages of perfection with practice. And that is what karma should be. Practicing. You know, this Diwali I shared one little message with my chelas doing puja at different homes. Simple little message. And that message is the competition. We approach life in a competitive spirit, which is fine. But the true and first competition there is a competition within your own self. Always remember that, rather than the other physical competitors. Your competition in life is to be better than you were yesterday, today. And better tomorrow than you were today. And if you are not that and you are worse off, check yourself. Check myself. That is the true and first competition of life. How better am I today than yesterday? And how better will I be tomorrow than today? Because it is not about reaching a level, but constant progress in every sphere. And many times in pursuit of all the other spheres, the spirituality is sacrificed. Rather than we engage in yajna and puja and satsang, we deny ourselves the opportunity of this in pursuit of many other things many times. And then we do not live fulfilled lives because we require everything else, but then can't enjoy it. Because we haven't learned to open the heart to Bhagwan and open our heart to society as yet. Because we are still within our own cocoon. Om Surabhyai Namaha. Repeat it for 1 lakh times and you will become a Siddh at this mantra. And you don't become a Siddh of this mantra, so anything you wish, you get it. You want a plate of food, snap your finger. It's not to use like that. Because when you get a gift from Bhagwan, a true Siddha doesn't use their power for themselves. That person who develops powers like that, through spirituality, they will help every single person except themselves. No matter what their personal situation, they will not use their power for themselves. Because they know even at that point in time, that power really is of no consequence, because that power is Bhagwan's. If you could add value, because that is the paras money that the scriptures speak about. Everybody you come in contact with, add value. Don't take away. Don't take away. Add value. That is the Midas touch. That is transforming everybody. The golden touch. That is the power of this human body and the purpose of it. When we recall, remember dhyan means focus. And whatever we want to achieve in life, we must be able to focus on it first and foremost. Focus on it and go step by step. So that dhyan of Surabhi, that dhyan of success in life, is mentioned in the Yajurveda. When we are able to focus on Surabhi in such a way, prosperity, increase, and freedom, they all come as a result of worshipping Surabhi Mata. And what is the dhyan? We listen to the dhyan, we clasp our hands as Narayan Bhagwan also does dhyan to Surabhi Devi at this time. Om Lakshmi Swarupam Paramam Radha Sahacharim Param Gavamadhisthatra Devagim Vayadhyam Gavan Prasum Pavitra Rupam Bhutancha Bhaktanan Sarvakamadam Yayayuputam Sarva Vishwam Tam Devim Surabhim Bhaje. Man Mahalakshmi Mata Ki Jai. O Devi Surabhi, thou art Lakshmi. So Surabhi Ma is an incarnation of Lakshmi Ma herself. Thou art the best. Thou art Radha, the chief companion of Sri Krishna. Thou art the first and the source of the creation of cows. Thou art holy, and thou purifiest the whole world, and thou sanctifiest all persons. Thou fulfillest the desires of the devotees, and thou purifiest the whole universe. Therefore, I meditate upon thee. Reciting this dhyan, the Brahmins worship Devi Surabhi in kalsas. You know, a kalsa is a complete puja. And when you do Gau Puja on Govardhan Day, Narayan Bhagwan is also teaching us that the kalsa, to do the puja, must be tied to the head of the cow if possible.